Snax on Sportz. Yeah. Snax on. I'm back with another one, man. You feel me real quick. You know what I'm saying? I need to do this weekly recap of the last week's game since week 5 has already started now. Last night with a horrible game. I ain't even watched that shit. I knew it was going to be some bullshit. And after the fact, it was confirmed it was some damn bullshit. So yeah, I'm just here to do the week 4 recap. You know what I mean? My weekly week 4 recap of what happened this past week in the NFL before we get to week 5 on Sunday. And like I said, week 5 has really already started with last night's game. But let's get into it, man. So last week we had last Thursday night, we had the Bengals against the Dolphins. The Bengals beat the Dolphins. The Bengals beat the Dolphins 27-15. 27-15. And, the talk coming out of this game was the head trauma, or whatever, to Tua. You know what I'm saying? The actual game was secondary. And so, the Bengals now are I'm going to briefly speak on what happened with the game, but I'm going to talk about the injury and all that shit too, to Tua. But as far as the game, good win for the Bengals because they beat a team that was undefeated. Okay, they were 3-0 coming into week 4, so they beat a team that was rolling. Even though it's the beginning of the season, but still they was 3-0. And the Bengals started out 0-2, so now they're on their own winning streak, 2 games in a row. After their Super Bowl appearance last year, and they lost the Super Bowl to the Los Angeles Rams, and usually, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the history of the Super Bowl loser over the past, 20 years or so has been that next following year, they don't really have a good year. So it's at least good to see the Bengals, who I think has potentially the next Tom Brady type quarterback in Joe Burrow. It's good to see them, after losing their first 2 games of the season, win their next 2. And now it seems like they're a bit back on track. You know what I'm saying? With where a lot of pundits and media members and sports analysts and experts and aficionados feel like they should be. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. But, that should make them feel good, that they were able to win these last 2 in a row after losing their first 2 in a row. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Bengals side. And as far as Miami, first loss of the year, and it came as a result of the concussion that Tua suffered. And, the whole thing about that, man, is, they saying that, he was concussed the week before, the game before, and he got hit and, he kind of stumbled to his feet, and then once he finally got to his feet, he was stumbling around, and he wasn't, his equilibrium and all that wasn't all quite there. Usually that means some type of brain stuff going on up there, which is most likely some type of concussion. But he continued that game. He passed whatever test and he continued to play. And then basically 3 days later or 4 days later, because they played on Thursday night last week, so he didn't get a full 7 days to rest his brain. You know what I mean? He was right back on the field for a Thursday night game, and he ended up sustaining another concussion. If he sustained a concussion that first time, because they were saying it looked like it. All of the everything from what I've seen and from everything what they say, you know, a concussion looks like from the outside looking in, looked like he had a concussion. But, you know, after they did his test and they said it wasn't a concussion, it was his back or his neck or something, you know, whatever. I don't, you know. So, but when he got concussed this time, okay, it didn't look so good. Okay. Now, you know, he had the seized up hands, the seized up fingers, which was kind of like, you know, you get concussed and you know your shit is stuck like this. You know what I mean? Because you there's some shit going on with your brain. You know what I mean? And no, that's not a good look. But the thing with me, bro, is like, this is football, bro. This is football. You know what I'm saying? And not to, furthermore, you know, try to, or not to put blame on Tua, but I'm kind of putting the blame on Tua. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do an episode just strictly about this, this one injury that he had. Because the thing with me is like, it's football, bro. And every time somebody get a concussion or some shit, they always want to blame the league or blame the team or blame the, like, bro, I understand, okay, you want to protect players from themselves and all that type of shit. But I'm sorry, bro. Ultimately, the fault falls on the player for me. You know what I'm saying? Unless, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just saying, okay, this is why I'm saying that. Okay, I understand, you know, the players is going to want to go back out there even if they ain't right with their body as far as if it's head injury or if they hurt or whatever. They still going to want to get out there if they can get out there. But my thing is that hit could have been avoided, bro. Like, if y'all go back and watch the play, he drops back and he's scanning the field for about 3 seconds, trying to find somebody to pass the ball to. And 3 seconds in the pocket, that's a long time to have, like, because a lot of times within 3 seconds, somebody already at your feet. And after 3 seconds, he still had time to make a decision. Now, he could have thrown the ball away, okay? Or he could have, because he's left-handed, so he's standing this way, he could have took off left, you know what I mean, and started running because that side of the field was open, at least for, you know, for him to possibly gain like 5, 6, 7 yards. But he chose to spin around and come back the other way. So he's like this, and he spins around to run back. He runs right into the defender, who grabs him and slams him to the ground and tackle him, and his head hit the ground. And then that's how he got a concussion, and he seized up. So my thing is, to me, that could have been avoided. You know what I'm saying? If he would. So I understand, yeah, you know, this and that, you know, the team is supposed to protect the players from themselves, and that's the reason why they got the protocol, you know, the concussion protocols and all that. But for me, Tua ran right into that. You know what I'm saying? He ran right into that. That could have been avoided if he would have either threw the ball away or took off running to the left and not spin around and try to take off running to the right. So, I mean, that's pretty much where I stand on that. You know, much blessings to Tua. Get well soon. You know what I'm saying? And all that. So yeah, we want to see him, and they out there. Oh, he should miss the rest of the season. He might miss the rest of the season. This looks bad. They putting too much on it. I'm telling you right now. Tua gonna miss this week coming up, and that's it. He's gonna be back on the field. He's gonna miss. He got injured week 4. He's gonna miss week 5. He's gonna be back on the field in week 6. Period. Point blank. It's just the way it is. He's a football player. So all you niggas on TV talking about this or that, trying to baby the nigga and act like he's some child, and he needs to, sit out the rest of the season or retire or whatever. Yeah, if that's what he want to do, because the thing about Tua is he has had some injuries. Okay, he doesn't seem to be the most stout built human. Okay, he seems to be a bit fragile. That don't mean soft. I'm not saying soft. I mean fragile, meaning shit. Bro, everybody's body is not built to hold up for NFL football. Okay? like for one, our bodies ain't made for that type of to be running up against each other and bouncing off each other and all that shit. Like our bodies weren't made for that. Now our bodies are strong enough to withstand it. Okay, that's how God made us. But everybody's body type is different. So you're gonna get some players that it's gonna seem like, it's gonna seem like they never get hurt. And then you're gonna get other players that get hurt around the normal amount of time that that an average athlete, it might get a little nick here or there throughout the season, but they there for the majority of the season. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna have your players that's just, it seems like they can't catch a break. They always getting hurt. And that seems to be Tua. So as far as the longevity of his life, and this and that, and if how he feels as far as because they saying that CTE shit and all that, like that shit, not even just CTE, just all of the injuries. Just look at Earl Campbell. Okay, man couldn't barely walk, and he was like 50 years old. 50 is not old. So, you know what I mean? It may be older compared to somebody that's younger, compared to a teenager or somebody that's in their 20s or 30s or something, but 50 is not old by no measure. So, to be, not able to damn walk, to be able to not damn walk, and basically be wheelchair bound in your 50s because of how you play, you know what I'm saying? Because that shows the punishment that one takes in playing a game of football. Your body take a lot of punishment. So some people are able to withstand it. Some bodies are able to withstand it. Other bodies aren't. And so Tua seems to be one of the ones that he can't really withstand that type of abuse to his body. He's been hurt. He had a major injury or two in college at Alabama, and he's had some serious injuries since he's been in the NFL as well. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. To me, Tua could have avoided that. He's a football player, so I mean, I don't knock him for trying to make the extra play or just figure out how to make a play. But yeah, I mean, you got to be smarter with that one. You know what I mean? If you know your body is fragile, do as much as you can to avoid getting hit. You gonna get hit, but I mean, don't run right into a motherfucking a hit. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, damn, nigga. So that's pretty much where I stand on that. I might do a little bit more. I might do a little more, or another episode. I might do an episode strictly on the Tua injury and just concussions in general, because it's a few things about this topic that I want to talk about, and just in regards to like when a player gets a concussion and who they want to put the blame on. It's like the niggas always got to blame somebody. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's nobody to blame. It just is what it is. So, but that's that. Next we had the Minnesota Vikings against the New Orleans Saints. Saints, I told y'all before the beginning of the year, you're not going to do shit with Jameis Winston, man. He's a solid quarterback. But he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to give the ball to the other team. That's just what the fuck he gonna do. So that's just what it is with Jameis, man, with famous Jameis. So, hey, good luck, New Orleans. But you need to find you a franchise quarterback, since Drew Brees ain't there no more. Because Jameis Winston ain't it. He's a stopgap. You know what I mean? He can hold the fort down for maybe a year or two while you find your next quarterback. But by all means, he's not the answer, man. You know? We know what he is. He's a solid quarterback. He gonna put up some numbers here and there. He gonna, you know what I mean? At the end of the year, or even at the end of a game, his stats can look somewhat decent. You know what I mean? Go on, scroll over there and look at the you know, to that turnover section and see what that's looking like. Along with them 275 to 300 yards he threw and them 2 or 3 touchdowns, is also going to be 2 or 3 interceptions. So, hey, and that's what kills you. So, you know, that's what's going on with that. Minnesota Vikings 3-1. The Saints are 1-3 now after that loss. The Vikings are 3-1. And yeah, I mean, the Vikings look like a team that can make some noise, but I mean, I just, you know, after that first game against the Green Bay Packers, and everybody was ready to, you know, say that they are the class of the division now after, you know, Green Bay has lost Devontae Adams, and you know, their offense ain't gonna be the same. And I think Aaron Rodgers threw a couple interceptions that first game or whatever, similar to last year, you know what I mean, when he had a bad game in week 1, and then they ended up winning a division and all that. So, I mean, that division to me, I do think that the Packers have come back down to earth a little bit, just as far as like the expectation, you know what I mean? As far as expecting them to be in the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I expect them to make the playoffs, but, you know, maybe a wild card, maybe win one game, you know, to where before they've been doing that for the past few years anyway, barely getting to the NFC Championship or winning one game or getting to the playoffs and not winning one game. They've been doing that, but the expectation was that they were going to go farther. Now this year, I think the expectation is exactly what they've been doing. Like last year, you know, they got to the playoffs and they lost their first playoff game. So I think they're more in line to that's more of the expectation for the Green Bay Packers this year. And I think that the Minnesota Vikings are basically right there. I think the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers are basically equal in the caliber of team that they are. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be a toss-up in between who's going to win that division. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think it's going to be a toss-up with that. When I did my when I did my recap, not my recap. When I did my fucking fuck am I trying to say, man? When I did my predictions for the year, the NFL season before the season started, I believe I predicted that Minnesota would win this division. Okay, and they still on track to do that. They 3-1, and I believe the Green Bay Packers are 3-1. So they're both tied at the top of the division. So they still on track to do that. But I don't think it's so for sure like I thought before the beginning of the season. I still had the Packers making the playoffs as a wild card team, but I had Minnesota winning the division. But just seeing how everything is panning out now after 4 weeks, and with both teams being, having the same record after 4 weeks, it's going to be a toss-up. They're two evenly matched teams, so we'll see what happens with that. The Vikings beat the Saints. So next we got the Falcons beat the Cleveland Browns 23-20. Both teams are 2-2. There's a lot of 2-2 teams in the league right now. It's only been 4 games played. So, the best you can have, the best your record can be is 4-0. The worst you can be is 0-4. So, it's not, it'll be one thing to get to like week 8. It'll be one thing to get to week 8 and, you got majority of the league is 4-4. By that time, I think it'll be a little bit more. By that time, I think it'll be a little bit more balanced as far as like teams separating themselves from each other. But right now, it's a lot of 2-2 teams. You know what I'm saying? I think Tom Brady even came out this morning and said that, man, I'm watching a lot of bad football right now. And 4 weeks. I know we're starting to get to, we're basically in smack dab in the middle of things right now. But are we getting to the middle of the season and all that type of stuff? But it's still the beginning part of the season. Yeah, the season is 4 weeks in, but there's 13 more weeks to go. So we're still closer to the beginning than the end or the middle or whatever. But yeah, the Falcons beat the Browns. I ain't really got too much to say about that. Both these teams, I didn't expect much from coming into the season. The Falcons quarterback, I believe, is Mariota right now. Because Matt Ryan is in Indianapolis now. And the Browns, Deshaun Watson is suspended for the first, I think, 11, 12 games or something like that. So, yeah, but hey, 2 teams that, to me, are playing a little bit better than expected. They both 2-2, but I would probably have expected for both of these teams to be like no better than 1-3 right now. You know what I mean? And they're 500. So, but I ain't really got nothing to say about that game. 23-20, Falcons won. Next game, Falcons beat the Browns. The next game we had was the Baltimore Ravens against the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills ended up pulling it out in the end, 23-20. The Ravens, listen, these motherfuckers, bro, they blow leads like a nigga blow his motherfucking nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is getting ridiculous, bro. Like, they was up 20-3 in this game. Now, I understand there was still a whole half to play. They got up 20-3 early in the game. And 20-3 in an NFL football game, when you still got 30, 40 minutes to play or whatever, that's nothing. That you can, all that take is you getting a turnover, going to go score a touchdown, then you stop the team on, 3 and out or whatever, getting the ball back and going down there to go score another touchdown, and you right back in the game. So even if it's a touchdown and a field goal, you right back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, because have a 17-point lead, is, and then to cut it to 7, it's just a 1-score game. So I'm not saying the 20-3 lead is unsurmountable or insurmountable to where that the Bills couldn't come back from that. But with the Ravens with the Baltimore Ravens having already had blown a big lead already in the season, it's a pattern here that we're starting to see. And Lamar Jackson doing his thing. He doing his damn thing, MVP candidate. I believe it's still him and Josh Allen right now as the two leaders, leading the MVP candidacy or whatnot. But yeah, that Baltimore Ravens defense, man, is it's not good. It's not very good, So I'll just say that much. And now Lamar Jackson did throw a bad interception at the end of that game. But to me, that play right there, that was the coach's fault. Because the offense shouldn't even been on the field. The field goal unit should have been on the field kicking the field goal to go up 23-20. But this nigga John Harbaugh sitting up there talking about, well, the analytics says that we have a better percentage. Man, fuck them analytics, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You know football now. John Harbaugh never played in the NFL his damn self. But he's been around it his whole life. His brother, Jim Harbaugh, played in the NFL. Okay? So he know the game. So this analytics shit, I mean, come on, man. Use analytics sometimes when you need to use it for certain things. Not when the game is on the line, bro. So it's 4th and what? I don't know. I forget what it was. It was like, I don't know. It was 4th and something. It was 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 4th and 2. They were inside the 5-yard line. Inside the 10, or definitely at least inside the 10-yard line. So they was right there. And all they had to do was kick a field goal, and they go up 23-20. And now you put the pressure on the Buffalo Bills to have to go down the field and score a field goal to tie the game up and send it to overtime, or score a touchdown to win the game. But you go for it on 4th down, don't convert, the game's still tied up. Now they go down there and kick a field goal and you lose. So to me, yeah, Lamar Jackson threw the interception, but that shouldn't even been a play that was called. You know what I mean? So I put that more on John Harbaugh. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but the Ravens, they got to get their shit together, the defense. You know what I mean? The defense got to get their shit together. And the only thing I will say about Lamar is that he's my second favorite player. I love to watch him play. He's in the MVP candidacy right now, but he do got to start winning. He wins. But I'm saying a little bit more of these big matchups with good teams that has another great quarterback on the other side. He got to start winning a higher percentage of those games than he does. Him and Patrick Mahomes have played a few times throughout his career. Patrick Mahomes always get the best of him. Him and Josh Allen just played. He should have won that game. Josh Allen got the best of him. Now, I know they not going up against each other. You know what I'm saying? They not my bad about that beep and shit. I know they not playing against each other, but still though, man, it's like you gotta find a way, Lamar, to when you going up against one of the other top tier quarterbacks in the league like yourself. I want to see you win more of those games than losing. It seems like he's. I'm not saying he's never won one of those games when he played against another good quarterback. He obviously has, but he seems to lose those games more than win. I know motherfuckers hear me say, well, you say he lose. It's a team game. Football is. I understand that. So yeah, I'm talking about, but I'm just saying, man. I want to see Lamar Jackson find a way to start pulling out these games that are close games, and there's another great quarterback on the other side. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. So, but yeah, the Ravens are now 2-2 after that loss. The Bills are 3-1. Bills seem to the last 2 weeks they're 1-1, and they lost last week, and they barely eked out this win against the Ravens. Seemed like they kind of coming back down to reality, you know, a little bit after those first 2 weeks when it looked like they was going damn near go 17-0. So, but yeah. Next game, Cowboys against the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys win 25-10. I already knew they was gonna win. Even though they don't have Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush is playing. I already knew they go. Cowboys have a good team, bro. I know I'm a Niners fan. This Snax and Sports, I'm keeping it real. It ain't about, it ain't about that right now. Cowboys have a good team. They ain't gonna win no Super Bowl or no shit like that, but they gonna do about what they did last year, make the playoffs and lose. Maybe win a game and then lose. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is. You know? So, but I fully expected the Cowboys to win that game. And they did. They won it pretty handily. And yeah, that's what I expected. Cooper Rush is holding the fort down right now, you know what I mean, for Dak Prescott, and that's a good look. So yeah, Cooper Rush is holding the fort down, you know. And hey, he keeping their head above water right now while Dak is out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, I like to see that. You know, well, no, I don't like to see that. I'm a Cowboy motherfucker later. But I'm saying, it's good to see that. Man, it ain't good to see shit. Fuck the Cowboys, man. What the fuck am I talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm being too politically correct on this motherfucker. Fuck the Cowboys. Nigga, matter of fact, fuck the Cowgirls. They did win, you know what I mean? And I will say they got a good team. Micah Parsons, that boy's a beast. But we got our own beast. Yeah, Bosa. Yeah. You know what I mean? Leading the league in sacks. But I'm going to get to that. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. You know. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. So, yeah, but, Commanders, trash name, trash organization, and you're just trash. So, you're dash, nigga. Next game, Seahawks against the Detroit Lions. This was actually damn near the best game of the week. The Seahawks pull it out 48-45. This game was in the 40s and shit. You know what I'm saying? These supposed to be two bad teams. The Lions are 1-3. I swear they playing better than 1-3 though, bro. They playing better than 1-3, man. Dan Campbell is doing his damn thing on meathead ass nigga. Nigga talking about biting knees and all that type of shit. But Dan Campbell is doing his damn thing. The Lions are improving. The record doesn't say so, but you can see it, you can feel it. They are becoming a better team. Every game that they've played this year, they could be 4-0 right now. The Lions, they're 1-3. They could easily be 4-0. That's how well they play. All of their games have came down to the wire. You know what I mean? To the very end. You know? So, yeah, that's what's up with them. And yeah, the Seahawks. So the Seahawks are 2-2 now, and the Lions are 1-3. Seahawks are playing a little bit better than the Seahawks have played like 2 good games and 2 bad games. And their 2 bad games, they look like the worst team in the league. And their 2 games that they've won, you know, they've looked like not the best team in the league, but a formidable team. You know what I'm saying? But yes, it was the best game of the week. I didn't watch it, but I see bits and pieces of every game. But I'm not gonna sit up there and watch the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks when it's all these other good games. You know what I mean? So I knew what was going on in the game, but I didn't watch it like that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that's what happened with that. What we got next? The Los Angeles Chargers pulled it out against the Houston Texans, 34-24. Good win for the Los Angeles Chargers. You know. They good win for the Chargers. They are 2-2 now. The Texans are 0-3-1. Yeah, the Texans is just Lovie Smith. I mean, Lovie Smith is a good coach, but I mean, they get the black coaches the fucked up jobs, nigga. Like, this shit is ridiculous. But yeah, the Texans is just, I don't know who the fuck they even got over there, bro. And that's sad. Because I know everything about everything when it comes to most sports. Definitely football and basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who the fuck. All I know is that I just know who the Houston Texans coach is. Lovie Smith. That's all I know. I don't know who the fuck their quarterback is. I don't know who their running back, who their wide receivers is, who they got on defense. I don't know none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna speak on them. But yeah, the Chargers should have won this game. I got the Chargers in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And after 4 weeks, they haven't looked like a Super Bowl contender. But they found a way to be 500. Probably should have beat the Chiefs when they played them. I believe that was week 2. Justin Herbert ended up getting hurt. Now he gonna have a lingering injury for the remainder of the year. It just is what it is. It's not going to get better over time. You know what I mean? You right in the thick of things in the swing of the football season. You know, his rib injury or whatever happened to him, it's not going to get better. You know what I mean? He can be able to maintain it and possibly, play with a little bit of pain, get some injections, and but that right there might put a little hindrance, you know what I mean, on my Super Bowl prediction. You know what I mean? Because Justin Herbert, who I feel is that nigga, okay, he's dinged up. He got dinged up in week 2, and the type of injury that it is, it's a rib cartilage or a rib fracture, or, man, that shit ain't going away. That shit's not going to go away until he stopped playing football and able to just let it heal, for a month or so, a month or 2, or however long it needs to heal. But he gonna keep playing through it. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Chargers. Next game, the Tennessee Titans beat the Indianapolis Colts. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in that. Even talk about that game. Y'all know how I feel about Ryan Tannehill. I say it every week. The boy's trash. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why they feel like, Ryan Tannehill is the type of quarterback that can lead you to any type of promised land or anything. Like he's a mediocre quarterback, bro. Like you never gonna do. He one of those. It's the same with Jameis Winston. Not saying that he gonna throw a whole bunch of interceptions. He do throw some interceptions too, but I just mean from the standpoint of they're solid quarterbacks. You're not gonna win nothing with them though. You just not. Because with Jameis, he gonna go to the other team too much. And with Ryan Tannehill, he's either gonna throw it to the other team or he's just not gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Either he gonna throw it to the other team, or he just ain't gonna be damn good enough. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm talking about? It just is what it is. So next, but the Titans, they pulled it out over the Colts. So yeah, whatever. Next game, it was a lot of not so good games this week. I'm finna run through this and just get through this, man, because I don't even really feel like this episode is, but I always got to do my little recap, my weekly recap. Some weeks is going to be better than others. It's all good. The next game we had is the Chicago Bears against the New York Giants, and the Giants pulled it out. They beat the Bears by a final score of 20-12. And, the Giants are 3-1 now. The Bears are 2-2. The Bears are not a very good team, but, after 4 weeks, they beat us week 1 when Trey Lance was there in that rainstorm out there. But both teams had to play in the rainstorm, so that's not an excuse. But the Bears 2-2 would say, okay, they're a mediocre team. They up 2, down 2. You know what I'm saying? They won 2, they lost 2. But they just, when they did in week 1 when they beat us, we was up. We controlled the whole fucking game. And then in the second half, it just all fell apart. Really, the fourth quarter is when it fell apart. Not even the second half. We never had like a big 20, 23, 25 point lead, but we controlled that whole game and we were up by 10 for the majority of that game. So, But I with the Bears, I don't, they're not a good team. They just don't have a good team. You know what I'm saying? Every team has some good players, but they don't have a good team. And the Giants are still up in the air. Because Daniel Jones, they won. They beat the Bears, but the Bears ain't, and the Giants, it's like, what are they? 3-1. Are they really 3-1? Are they really that good? Or is it just, that they've played some not so good teams? Now the thing about that is that a lot of people say, well, the Giants came into the league as being predicted as a not so good team. So, that's more of an excuse that you would use against somebody that, I don't know. Like it's maybe somebody that's supposed to be better and they're beating up on nothing but bad teams. And then you say, well, we'll really see how good they are when they start going up against some better competition. With the Giants, they haven't been good the past few years. And, they have a question mark at quarterback with Daniel Jones. So, we don't know. We don't know. You know what how good the Giants are just yet. Now you are what your record says you are, so they 3-1. Got to give them credit for that right now. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm gonna give them credit for that. I'm gonna say they doing their thing, but the test of time will tell. You know what I mean? It's been 4 weeks after 8. Now all I need is 4 weeks of an NFL season or a quarter of a season to tell me what I need to know about where a team is at. You know what I'm saying? But after 8 weeks, I'll have a better, like teams like the Giants and or the Eagles, or and I'm gonna get to them next. That was the next game, but as the season goes on, we're gonna really be able to tell and we're gonna really find out how good these teams, that the 3-1 or the undefeated, or Eagles are the last undefeated team, but the Eagles or the teams that are 3-1, or even the teams that are 2-2, that most people probably would have thought would be 1-3 or 0-4 right now. We're gonna find out in the next 4 weeks, how good they really are. So, but yeah, Giants beat the Bears 20-12. Giants 3-1 now, Bears 2-2. So yeah, that's that. Next game we had is the Eagles against the Jaguars. The Eagles beat the Jaguars 29-21. The Eagles had to once again come back. I think in 2 or 3 of their victories they were down. And the Jaguars have played great this year. Now, I didn't watch this game. I just seen the highlights and the clips and stuff like that. But they said that what's the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars? A second-year player that came from Clemson, I think. The long hair nigga, long blonde hair. I know his name. It's just slipping my mind right now. But they said this nigga had 5 turnovers. Okay, now that's bad in itself. The crazy thing is, it was 4 fumbles and 1 interception. And that's weird to me, because usually when it's when a quarterback has 4 or 5 turnovers in a game, it's usually the other way around. Like 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, some shit like that, because you're throwing the ball. You're throwing the ball, 20-something, 30-something, sometimes 40-something times a game. So the probability that those throws and those passes can be picked off is higher because of how many times you throwing the ball. You know what I mean? Versus a quarterback fumbling the ball. You gotta have the ball. You gotta get the ball hiked to you and have it in your hands in order to throw it. So yeah, you can fumble it as well. But 4 fumbles means like you very weak with the ball. Quarterbacks don't usually like fumble that much unless they taking off running hella. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's a scrambling quarterback and he's just running around so much that he just, he every time he get, that's still a lot, 4 fumbles. But that to me, because for a quarterback to have 4 fumbles, that means you either holding on to the ball too long, too much, to where they can get to you and strip it, and on top of that, you that's showing that you're not you very loose and weak and fragile with the ball. Quarterbacks don't usually fumble that much. They may throw a lot of interceptions, but not fumble. You know what I mean? I don't know the last time I've heard of a quarterback fumbling the ball 4 times. I mean, damn. What the fuck, nigga? You just handing it over to their ass? But yeah. So that was some weird shit. But yes, and the Eagles are 4-0, and you 4-0. So hey, they talking about the Eagles like, hey, this team is for real. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see. I gotta see more, bro. I just gotta see more. You know what I'm saying? I just do, bro. I just do. I gotta see more. Now, I don't gotta see more to that they're a good team. I'll give them the fact that they're a good team. But I gotta see more if I'm gonna say that I feel like they're a legit Super Bowl contender. You know what I mean? Some football experts may hear me say that and say I sound like a dumbass. You know what I mean? Because I haven't really watched them this year. You know what I'm saying? I've seen bits and pieces of their games, and I know what they've done. And I know that Jalen Hurts has played well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving them that they're a good team. But even at 4-0, you are what your record is. But I don't even know at 4-0 that I would call them the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? I would probably, say that I would put my money on the Bills to beat them. I would put my money on, I was going to say the Buccaneers. I'm finna get to them. You know what I mean? We'll see. You know what I'm saying? But when all is said and done, I feel like the Buccaneers is going to get it all squared away. So, I would probably put my money on the Bucks to beat the Eagles. I will put my money on the Chiefs to beat the Eagles. I will put my money on us, the Niners, to beat the Eagles. I would have said the Ravens if them niggas, the defense, if them niggas was able to hold on to leads, and I would have also said the Chargers if they because they up and down, like, you know what I'm saying? But even those 2 teams that I just named, you know what I'm saying? The Ravens and the Chargers, that ain't no for sure that the Eagles could just beat them. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Green Bay, I mean, I think that the Eagles probably have a better team than Green Bay, but Green Bay got Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying with the Eagles is that they're a good team. I give them they 4-0. You are what your record is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they I need to see a little more. I need to see a little more to say that I feel like they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Like they're a top 4 team. You know what I'm saying? Top 4 or 5 team. Next, we got the New York Jets defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-20. The Jets are 2-2 now. Steelers are 1-3 now. The Steelers came out and said now they finna go with the young cat, Kenny. I think his name is Kenny something. You know what I mean? But they finna roll with him over Mitchell Trubisky. I believe it's Mitchell Trubisky they got. And yeah, the Jets 2-2 after the victory, and but yeah, they just I don't know. The second year quarterback he played well in the second half because they had to come back in this game, I believe. But he played well in the second half. And then so yeah, but I didn't watch this game. Good win for the Jets. You know, they 2-2. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. Next game was the Cardinals and the Panthers. The Cardinals end up beating the Panthers 26-16. Starting to be a little disappointed in Baker because I had high hopes for him this year, and I do feel like he's a better quarterback than what he's showing. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's a better quarterback than what he's showing, and yeah. So you know, it's somewhat disappointing, but Cardinals are 2-2. Kyler Murray, you know, he a young phenom doing his thing. So, but for me, you know, it's less about the Cardinals and more about the Panthers. For me, not really the Panthers, Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? Because I want, you know, it's still a long season. It's 13 games left, so this is by no means a death sentence for Baker Mayfield this year. He just got to get on track. They just got to find a rhythm, man, somehow, you know, offensively, and they just got to figure some shit out, man. But yeah, next game, the Packers beat the Patriots 27-24. They barely beat them. The Packers did not look like a dominant team. You know, we all know the Patriots are not what they used to be. No more without Tom Brady. And the Patriots almost won this game with a third-string quarterback, my nigga. A nigga named, what was his name? Zappe, you know what I mean? They almost won this game with a third-string quarterback. I believe he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? But the Packers end up pulling it out. And Aaron Rodgers even said after the game, always thankful for a win, but the way we won is definitely not sustainable to think we're going to continue to win games playing like this. So, he know. So, yeah, but the Packers, they are 3-1. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots fall to 1-3, and that's just what it is. Next game, the Raiders finally get off the schneid and get their first win. They beat the Denver Broncos 32-23. So, yeah, the Broncos right now, the Broncos just played, it's Friday. The Broncos just played last night. They started out week 5. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I'm going to talk about it on the week 5 recap. But what I will say is that between that game last night and everything else I've seen so far this year from the Broncos, they got some offensive issues. You know what I'm saying? And they got to figure some things out. I think that old Russ is still in there somewhere a little bit. Man, he may not be the same quarterback that he was, 3-4 years ago, but he's still a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I just think they gotta it's still early in the season. It's his first year over there. It's still right now. They they're 2-3 right now, but before last night they were 2-2. So for the sake of me doing this week 4 recap, I'm gonna just still say they 2-2. You know what I mean? And I'll go with the 2-3 when I do the week 5 recap next week. You know what I'm saying? So, but they just gotta iron some things out. You know what I mean? But it ain't looked so smooth. But it's still early in the season, so I feel like I'm not saying they will straighten it out, but they got time to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then and the Raiders, they got their first win. They 1-3 now, so the Raiders probably are better than 1-3. You know what I'm saying? They probably should be 3-1. You know what I'm saying? But they 1-3, so it is what it is. Sunday night's game was the Chiefs defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 41-31. Now, the Buccaneers, everybody know Tom Brady, my favorite player. The Buccaneers it's kind of similar to the Broncos as far as offensively. It's a different problem, but the main theme is that, you know, they're not being able to move the ball as efficiently and as you know, they're not being able to move the ball up and down the field like they feel that they should. You know what I'm saying? With the Broncos, it's more just, I think, like a chemistry thing, because Russell is new there. They got a new head coach there. You know, that first game of the year, they had some issues. They had some issues with getting the play call in on time. You know what I mean? They had a few, unacceptable delay of games, stuff like that. But with the Buccaneers, it's more just out of sync, not in flow. You know what I'm saying? You know, they got injuries, you know, of course, you know what I mean? Like a lot of teams do, but, you know, that is part of it. You know what I'm saying? Godwin played the first week. He probably shouldn't have. Probably should have just kept him out like the first 4 to 6 weeks of this year and then brought him back coming off that ACL. You know what I mean? But they tried to play him that first game, and it's just easy. He's healthy enough to where he could go out there and play, but he wasn't ready. They shouldn't have played him week 1. So then he missed the next, I believe, 2 games. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he did play in week 4. But, it wasn't enough. You know, Mike Evans was suspended for week 3. So he didn't play week 3 and then came back week 4. It wasn't enough. You know, so they did have Evans and Godwin, but the offense still didn't look fluid. And Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're doing it a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's not the bomb throws downfield to Tyreek Hill, you know, once or twice a quarter, but he's still finding a way to get it done. And I got to say this, you know, because in every sport, I root for teams and or players, and whoever is an opposition or a rival of my team or players, then that player immediately automatically becomes a rival of mine, just as far as sports wise, nothing personally and nothing like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just as far as sports wise, because I just say that because sometimes I'll get to talking, you know, on the internet, you know, in a manner in which it may seem like I really have some type of disdain for a certain player, and I don't. I don't at all. This is all in fun sports banter, bro. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate no player, no athlete, or nothing like that. It's all, you know, it's just all, it's all in fun. Even if I say something that may seem like that, it's not. I may call some names, say this bitch ass nigga, whatever. It's just how I talk. It's, you know what I mean? So, but it's nothing. I don't give a damn like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just say that because of that. But in saying that, Patrick Mahomes has somewhat been a rival because, you know, it's not a threat, but it's like it's a, you know, Brady is the GOAT. Brady is my favorite player, but then you got Patrick Mahomes. It's like it's not a threat to Brady's legacy. There's nothing that Patrick Mahomes can do. But I'm just saying, just as far as the next GOAT, you know what I mean? And you don't want to relinquish that, you know what I mean? And then the Chiefs are not a rival to the Niners, but there's some history there. We lost to them in the Super Bowl. The greatest quarterback in our franchise went to play for them after disgruntledly departing from us, and still more, even though Joe Montana is more known for as you know, the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, he himself seems to give the Chiefs more love than the Niners. Now, that's something that got something to do between him and the franchise, but still, that's what's going on. So it's a little history there. A lot of our quarterbacks that went to go play over there after leaving us. Alex Smith, Elvis Gerbach, so yeah. So I'm saying that to say Patrick Mahomes. Now, I even to this day, I still want Tom Brady over any quarterback. And Tom Brady was voted the best player in the league by players this year. Okay? But so far this year, Patrick Mahomes, he probably, because when I talk about the MVP candidates, I'm only talking about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But you got to throw Patrick Mahomes in there. Patrick Mahomes is probably after 2 weeks, it was Josh Allen. After 3 weeks, it was Lamar Jackson. After 4 weeks, it's Patrick Mahomes. Straight the fuck up and down. You know what I'm saying? The shit this man do out here on that field, man. Like, I've been saying, I said this before any fucking body else said it. I said this when he first jumped on the scene. I said Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are the Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. I said that. Don't mean it's going to be the same exact dynamic, like they're going to win 4 out of 6 championships like the Warriors did in this, that. But I'm saying just the style of play, just the resemblance and the flashiness of how Patrick Mahomes is and how Steph Curry is, like the all-time greatness. Like I have to give it up to Patrick Mahomes. I can no longer, just hate on this man. I mean, this is pure greatness that I just seen on Sunday night. What this man did. The spins and the passes, like just the little lob, like who does that type of shit, bro? Like, this is ridiculous what this man is doing, and this is just routine. He do this all the time. Now it catch up with him sometimes, just like with Steph Curry. Some of them turnovers and all that, it catch up with him sometimes, but Patrick Mahomes. I revised my MVP candidacy. Right now, my MVP candidacy is in no particular order, but Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. Them is the 3 up for MVP right now. You know what I'm saying? This is Patrick Mahomes is absolutely brilliant, bro. Magnifico. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I seen on Sunday night, I told myself, I said, when I do the week 4 recap, I'm finna give it up to this man. Because this is pure greatness right here that I'm seeing. And I'm a fan of greatness. So he's so great, I can't even hate on him no more, man. I can't hate on him, man. I mean, this shit is ridiculous what this man be out here doing on the field. Playing with motherfucking all-pro NFL defenders. You know what I mean? Made Devin White look like a motherfucking pee-wee football player. Nigga spun off him, lobbed that shit, and it went right to the receiver. He just caught it, bloop, touchdown. I said, damn. I said what John Stark said in the motherfucking Last Dance, or no, in the ESPN documentary against Miller Time, against Reggie Miller, when John Stark said, "Did this man just did this?" Yeah, did this man just did this? This man just did this. man. And when that's when John Starks was talking about Reggie Miller and saying like did this like when he came back when he scored that 8 points in like 6 seconds, you know what I mean, when the New York Knicks had the game won, he said, man, did this man just did this? You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker doing some shit like that'll fuck up your whole vocabulary like that. You know what I mean? Have you talking like you 3 years old, nigga, not knowing how to pronounce sentences and not knowing, you know, put a full sentence together. That shit wild. But yeah, the Chiefs ended up and the Buccaneers got one of the best defenses in the league. The Chiefs ain't do nothing but put 41 points up on them. You know what I'm saying? That's all they did. So, I mean, this is just pure greatness what this man is out here displaying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Bucks. I'm not worried about the Buccaneers. I'm not one motherfucker. I'm not worried about no damn Tom Brady. I'm not worried about no damn Tom Brady. 7 Super Bowl ring. Yeah, I'm not worried about Tom Brady, bro. So the Bucks will get it together. You know what I'm saying? It looks shaky right now, but you know, I'm you know, at least the offense do. You know what I mean? I'm 0%, -0% worried about Tom Brady in that offense. They will find a way to get it together by all means. Like, it's just, you know, so I'm not worried about that. And then lastly, Monday night, we had my team, the San Francisco 49ers defeating defeating Karen Donald and the Los Angeles Lambs 24-9. Nigga, we displayed our motherfucking defense. Nigga, we the best motherfucking defense in the league, nigga. And Nick Bosa, or do we got which Bosa do we got? Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa? I forgot which Bosa we got. But you know what I'm saying? That Bosa boy leading the league in sacks at 6. And we all want to sit up there and keep talking about motherfucking Karen Donald and Micah Parsons. I mean, Bosa can't get no love. I mean, he leading the league in sacks. Yeah, he might be the best defensive player in the league while you bitch ass niggas is talking. Yeah, you feel me? You know what I mean? And I got to say I didn't forgive me. You know what I mean? For whatever little remarks he made. You know what I mean? You know, I'm like, oh, nigga, you gonna forget it? Nigga, that was some old racist shit. Blah blah blah. Hey, if God can forgive, I can forgive, brother. You know what I mean? Keep getting them sacks, brother. We beat up on the motherfucking Rams once again. 7 straight regular season victories against the Rams. Now they won they won the one that was most important last year in the NFC Championship, even though we should have won. But whatever. They ended up getting that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I knew we was gonna win this game, bro. I just we always beat up on the Rams, so. I knew we was gonna win. The Rams, like I told y'all, coming into this year, even when they won the Super Bowl last year, like I don't look at the Rams. I never looked at the Rams like this, you know, like this type of team that's coming into this year, like this juggernaut Super Bowl, like how if the Patriots, when the Patriots was in their heyday, when they win the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? You look at like the next year, hey, they're gonna win it again. Like I never, or like the Warriors right now. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're going to win it again. I think they're going to win it again. You know what I'm saying? But teams that win a championship and you know for a fact they're going to have a chance to win it again. They may not win it, but they're going to be right there. And I never felt like the Rams was that type of team. I always felt, okay, they got hot last year at the right time. You know, they were a good team all year. Or for the most of the year, but I never looked at the Rams. I never looked at them like this unbeatable team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's not surprising to me that now, you know, like I say about everybody else, it's early in the season, they 2-2. There's still a lot of time left, but I just don't look at the Rams like they gon'. I don't see them getting back to the Super Bowl. I don't even see them making the NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? They may make the playoffs. You know what I mean? They may not even make the playoffs. Who knows? But if they don't make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? They're not a bad team, but they not some juggernaut team that they won a Super Bowl last year. Yeah, pencil them in to they're gonna win it. Again this year. They're gonna be in at least in the conference conference game. Conference championship game. I don't see that. So, but I'll say on the other end too, if the Rams were to get to a Super Bowl or get to the conference championship game or win it, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying I don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised though, because they did just do it. But I don't look at them that way. You know what I mean? But if they catch lightning in the bottle again and go on one, hey, I'm all for them. But that's basically it, man. I just want to recap that. The Niners, we 2-2 now. And our next two games are against teams winnable. I know we play the Falcons in one of these games, and then we play somebody else. And then after that, in 3 weeks, we play the Chiefs. We should be 4-2 going into that game against the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? We just should. You know what I mean? We should win this week. Oh, we play the Panthers this week, so we should beat the Panthers. You know what I mean? I fuck with Baker Mayfield, but we just should beat them. And then we got the Falcons. The Falcons have played a little bit better than what I expected, but I mean we should beat them as well. So you know what I'm saying? And then after that we got the Chiefs. So I'm looking for my Niners to be 4-2 by the time we play the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? In week 7. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically it, man. I just wanted to do my week 5 recap, my week 4 recap. You know what I mean? Before these games start on Sunday. So it is what it is, man. Snax on Sports. I'm going. I'll be back with another. I got some more topics. Oh man, y'all. Hey, this nigga dry. Y'all know I got to talk about Draymond. Y'all know I got to talk about Draymond and Jordan Poole. But I had to get this done first. So I'm gonna probably do that episode either later on tonight or like tomorrow or something. Probably later on tonight. I'll probably do the Draymond shit. You feel me? So, but I got a couple other shits I want to talk about too. But I'm going though. Snax on Sports. I'll be back with another one. All right. Yeah, we going out this bitch here, man.